Good morning, friends. Welcome to English grammar classes. Today we are going to discuss about pronouns. Pronoun is the sentence element used to replace a noun or a noun equivalent construction. The replaced noun is named the antecedent. For example, if you say, John is my friend, he is living here. There, he is used to replace the noun John. So John is considered the antecedent of the pronoun he. Okay. What are pronouns? Pronouns are the words used to replace one or more nouns. A word that is used to replace a noun or a naming word can be called as pronoun. They are dative words or words used to denote or relate other words. They show the relationship. In this case, they relate other nouns. This makes our writing more coherent and less awkward. Pronouns and antecedents. The noun or group of words that a pronoun refers to is called its antecedent. When you use a pronoun, you should be sure that it refers to its antecedent clearly. Be especially careful when you use the pronoun they. Read the following sentence. They have several books about Greek myths at the library. There are 8 categories of pronouns. The categories of pronouns are personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, reflexive and emphatic or intensive pronouns, interrogative pronouns, relative pronouns, reciprocal pronouns, and indefinite pronouns. Let's see the kind. First one is personal pronoun. Personal pronouns represent specific people or things. We use them depending on the number, person, gender and case. Number means it can be either singular or plural. Person can be first person, second person or third person. There are 3 persons that personal pronouns are categorized into 3 persons. The person who starts the conversation calls himself as I. So since he starts the conversation, he is called the first person. To whom he speaks is considered the receiver of the first person's talk. He or she is called as the second person. So there we can see first person I addresses the second one as you. So you is always second person. You can be either singular or plural. The third person, suppose when I and you are here talking about the other person who is not here with us, it can be he or she or they or an object, it or that. So such pronouns are called as the third person pronouns. There are 3 persons, first person, second person and third person. And the gender, it can be male or female. Accordingly we use it he or she. Then the case, that can be subject or object. 2 cases are there predominant while we discuss about the personal pronouns. Then we use personal pronouns in place of the person or people that we are talking about. Personal pronouns are classified by person, number, case and gender. They are illustrated through the same table. You can see first person I is used as singular in number. It is a subjective case. That means where a particular pronoun is used, it is considered to be its case. Suppose if I is used as the subject, it is said to be subjective case or nominative case. When the form of I, that is me, is used as the object of a sentence, it is said to be accusative case or objective case. So that personal pronouns, when they are used as objective case, they are always indirect objects, because the receiver of the action is called the indirect object and what is received is called as the direct object. Then the possessive form of this one is mine. My is also possessive form, but my is possessive adjective, but mine is possessive pronoun. So we'll discuss about that distinction while we make a video on the correct use of pronouns. The second one, plural form of the first person we. Its objective form is us and possessive is ours. And second is thou or ye or you is considered to be the subjective form of second person. Thee or you is considered to be objective form. Thine or yours is considered to be the possessive form. Then the third person, he, she or it and they are used as subjective and objective form, him, her, it and them. The possessive form will be his, hers, its or theirs. Then possessive pronouns. A possessive pronoun is a pronoun that shows who or what has something. A possessive pronoun may take place of a possessive noun. What is your belonging? That is said with the help of possessive pronoun. We use possessive pronouns to refer specific person, people or thing or things belonging to a person or people. So here we discuss or we tell about our possession. What is owned by a particular person. You will never find a possessive pronoun near a noun, despite the fact is that the genitive of personal pronoun. That means if you take the case of a possessive pronoun, it will be always seen in a independent form. But possessive adjective is dependent. Without a noun, it cannot stand alone. For example, this is my book. When you say this is my book, my is possessive adjective because my is the word that is used to qualify the word book. Okay. At the same time, if you say that this book is mine, there mine is used alone, it stands alone. So that's why mine is considered to be possessive pronoun, but my is considered possessive adjective. We use possessive pronouns depending on the number, then person and gender. Examples. Look at these pictures. Mine is the big one. That here we talk about the picture. So mine is the word, is the pronoun used for the antecedent my picture. So my picture is the antecedent. I think you may remember the word antecedent. Antecedent means the word which is replaced by a pronoun. So the word that replaces is pronoun, and which word is replaced by the pronoun is called the antecedent of the pronoun. I like your flowers. There you can see your is considered as adjective. Then do you like mine? Mine means my flower. So my flower is the antecedent. Then all these essays were good, but his was the best. That his stands for his essay. John found his passport, but Mary couldn't find hers. Hers stands for her passport. There you can see her is used to qualify the word passport. I repeat, her is considered to be possessive adjective, but hers is the word that can stand alone, so it is considered to be possessive pronoun. Then demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronoun represent a thing or things. Near, in distant time, distance or time, there we use this or these as the plural form. Far, in distance of time, that we say that or those. Then, for example, this tastes good. That means it is closer object. These are bad times. There, these says about something about the events that are going on in plural sense. That is beautiful. There, that is use singular form. Those were the days. So, along with these four words, you can see some other words are also used as demonstrative. Let's see that. This, these, that, those, the former, the later, the first, the last, the other, the others, same, such, so. All these words stand for demonstrative pronouns. They can demonstrate, they can show up you something. So they points out something. That's why they are called as demonstrative pronouns. So demonstrative pronouns and demonstrative adjectives have exactly the same forms. The way to differentiate them depends on the position relative to the antecedent or determined nouns. If you say that this is my book, there this stands alone, that is considered to be a demonstrative pronoun. These books are mine. When you say these books, the word these is used to qualify the word books. So that's why this stands as an adjective. Next one, reflexive pronoun. A reflexive pronoun refers to a noun or another pronoun and indicates that the same person or thing is involved. Reflexive pronouns are formed by adding self or selves, selves as the plural form, to certain personal and possessive pronouns. For example, the woman found herself a book of folk tales. There, it comes in the place of object and reflexes, just like a mirror reflexes an image in the same form or in the same way. There, the word herself reflexes the word woman. So that's why you can see that they are termed as reflexive pronouns. So the subject as well as the reflexive pronoun would be same. That is their agreement. So this is called as the agreement with the pronouns. So when we take the case of this subject and its reflexive pronoun will be agreeing each other. The next one is intensive pronoun. It is called in the other form as emphatic pronouns too. An intensive pronoun is a pronoun that adds emphasis to a noun or pronoun already named. George himself bought a copy of American Tall Tales. There, George is said again or stressed upon or even given more importance with the help of an intensive pronoun. That shows the intensity or emphasize. That's why these types of pronouns are called as intensive or emphatic pronouns. He himself paid for the book. Here, himself is intensive pronoun. I think you may have a doubt here that when the self form is used with intensive or reflexive pronouns, then how can we recognize that? It's very easy. The first one, I think you have seen the position. The woman found herself. There, herself comes in the place of object after the verb. See the position of intensive pronouns. George himself bought a copy. There, himself comes before the verb or closer to the noun it qualifies or it says about. You can see he himself paid for the book. If you just change the position of this himself from this particular place after the verb, it changes to reflexive pronoun. For example, he himself paid for the book. That is intensive pronoun. He paid himself for the book. Or he paid for the book himself. So if you use the same self form after the verb, it changes to reflexive form. Next one is interrogative pronouns. We use interrogative pronouns to ask questions. The interrogative pronoun represents the thing that we don't know or what we are asking the question about. There are four main interrogative pronouns: who, whom, what, and which. The possessive pronoun whose can also be an interrogative pronoun, an interrogative possessive pronoun. So that means there are five types or interrogative pronouns are there. For example, if you want to ask a question about the subject, you can use who. If it is an object, there we add whom. If it is a thing, what, for both object and subject. For a person or thing in common, which or that. But that is not considered as interrogative pronoun, that is a relative pronoun. But which is considered to be an interrogative pronoun. Then person, for a person whose, that the possession of a particular person can be asked. Whose is this bag? There, whose as the possession of a particular thing. Examples can be seen. Question is there. Who told you? John told me. There, John. Instead of John, you have used the question word who. Since the question word who replaces John, who is considered as interrogative pronoun. Okay. Whom did you tell? I told Mary. Then there, Mary is the noun that is replaced by a question word whom. Since the question word is replacing a noun, whom is considered as an interrogative pronoun. So it has two functions. One, to ask a question, and another to stand instead of a noun or pronoun. What's happened? An accident happened. So subject is mentioned over there. A relative pronoun is a pronoun that introduces a relative clause. It is called relative pronoun because it relates to the word that it modifies. There are five relative pronouns: who, whom, whose, which, and that. Who is used as the subject and whom stands for object are generally only for people. Whose is for possession, which is for things, that can be used for both people and things, and as subject and object in defining relative clauses. Relative pronouns can refer to singular or plural, and there is no difference between male and female. So relative pronouns has a speciality. They also do two functions at a time. One stands instead of a noun or functions as a pronoun, plus it relates or joins two sentences or two clauses together. So when you say, this is the man who was sitting there, in the same sentence you can see there are two sentences. This is the man. He was sitting there. So instead of he, we have used another word, who, that stands for he and joins these two sentences together. So it functions as a conjunction and at the same time it functions as a pronoun. So it has two functions, to function as a pronoun and a conjunction. So that's why they are called as relative pronouns, since they relate the sentences, the ideas, or the clauses together. At the same time, function as a pronoun too. The examples can be seen. The person who phoned me last night is my teacher. A person phoned me last night. He is my teacher. There are two sentences. They are joined together by a word who. Then here you can see that they are called as defining clauses, that in the last page there we mentioned a particular term, defining, and non-defining clauses. There are two kinds that we will discuss further in other videos. That we can see a person who phoned me last night. Who phoned me is considered to be the defining clause that defines what or who the person is. The car which hit me was yellow. A car hit me that was yellow, or it was yellow. That is said with in another form, the car which hit me was yellow. The person whom I phoned last night is my teacher. The car whose driver jumped out just before the accident was completely destroyed. Here you can see the car whose driver jumped out just before the accident describes the term, the noun, the car. So here you can see it is the function of relative clauses. Now the next one is the reciprocal pronouns. When each of two or more subjects is acting in the same way towards the other, we use reciprocal pronouns. There are two reciprocal pronouns and they are both towards each other, one another. So these are the usual form. When we use these reciprocal pronouns, there must be two or more people or things or groups involved. So we cannot use reciprocal pronouns with I, you, he, she, or it, and they. They must be doing the same thing. For example, John and Mary love each other. There two persons are there. Instead of John and Mary, we have used another word or a combo word, each other. The 10 prisoners were all blaming one another. They're one another, one to other. That is the sense. Why don't you believe each other? There you can see that there are two persons. The number should be minimum two or more. Then only we can use reciprocal pronouns. And they are doing something vice versa or connected each other. The next one is indefinite pronoun. An indefinite pronoun is a pronoun that does not refer to a particular person, place or thing. Does anyone know the story of Midas? Most indefinite pronouns are either singular or plural. They are called indefinite pronouns because the person who does this action is not definite, is not clearly defined. Nobody came here. If you say that nobody, who is nobody? No one knows. Okay, everybody does so. If you say everybody, who is everybody? It is not defined. There may be 10, there may be 1, there may be 3, there may be 4. So that number is not defined. So since it is not defined, that's why we call such pronouns as indefinite pronouns. Note that many indefinite pronouns also function as other parts of speech. Look at another in the following sentences. He has one job in the day and another at night. Another stands for another job or other job. So instead of this combo word, we have used a new word, another. I would like another drink, please. So here another is used as adjective. So another qualifies the word drink. Drink is a noun. So that's why the same word can function for other case also. Some indefinite pronouns. When an indefinite pronoun is used as the subject, the verb must agree with it in number. They are the most confusing part while we use pronouns. We will discuss further details, the correct use of pronouns. Everyone discusses the plot. There, everyone is used as singular. Both talk about King Minos. There are two persons. All of the mythology is about beliefs and idea. If all is said about people, more than one, then it is plural. Then all of the myths are about beliefs and ideals. There it is not one myth, it is said about different myths or even various myths. So when the number is more, by the time the same indefinite pronoun function as plural. That means if the number is defined, if it is a countable pronoun, it is considered to be either plural or singular. But if it is an indefinite pronoun, the first sentence of this all, you can see all of mythology. Mythology itself is an uncountable noun. So that's why when we take the case of all to qualify this one, that is considered to be indefinite. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please share, like and subscribe the video. Wish you an amazing day. Thank you.